Welcome to English with Leanne. Today's idiom is to learn your lesson. We can say this to learn my lesson, to learn your lesson, to learn our lesson, to learn his lesson. And this does not mean what you think it means. You might think, oh, yesterday in class, we learned in school, and I learned from our class yesterday. No, it does not mean that. To learn your lesson means that you learned from a mistake you made. So this isn't just that you went to class and you learned. This means that you made a mistake and you had to learn from your mistake. This is very important to understand because if you use this idiom incorrectly, people like me are going to be like, oh, this happened to me once. I was visiting an English class and the teacher was not a native English speaker, and they said, Sam, stand up. And Sam stood up. And then they said, Sam, did you learn your lesson? I was in the corner like, oh, what did Sam do? And the teacher then listened to the student, listened to Sam, tell the whole class what they had learned the day before in class. He hadn't done anything wrong. And I was sitting there being like, oh, what did Sam do? So it's very important to use this one correctly. You could use this with your kids, and you might ask your son, did you learn your lesson? And your son might say, oh yes, I learned my lesson. I will not bite my friends. Good. You can also use this at work. Maybe you might say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made that mistake yesterday. I've learned my lesson. I am going to be more careful with how I word my emails. So in both those cases, you can use it with your family, you can use this at work, but it does always mean that there was a mistake made that you are going to learn from and not repeat. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the vocabulary from these two examples. Notice that the son in the first example said, I learned my lesson. I will not bite my friends. Just like I showed you, bite. I really just mean bite. I don't mean anything special about that because you're talking to a kid. But in our second example, I said, I learned my lesson. I'm going to be more careful with how I word my emails at work. Now, how you word your emails, word, can we use this as a verb? In this case, we can use it as a verb. To word your emails, that's how you choose which words you're going to use in your emails. And that's very important, picking the right word. So how you word your emails at work can be extremely important. So remember, to learn your lesson does not mean that you learned from a class, but you learned from something you did wrong. Good luck using this week's idiom.